Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. A message to my young Muslim brothers that are single and hoping to get married, to complete their deen, to find fulfillment and companionship and fulfill their innate and very normal and natural need for physical affection and intimacy. This is a message to the good guys out there that are suffering. The good guys that I talk to in my coaching practice, the good guys that I meet in the community. And I want to start with a story, my dear brothers. When I was a kid in the 80s and 90s, not many cars had power steering. Power steering was a luxury. Actually, air conditioning was a luxury. I remember my mum drove a 1977 Datsun 200B station wagon, then a Nissan Bluebird, and I mean, most parents back in the 80s and 90s drove absolute bombs. You know, the Toyota Coronas and smoke like trains, and the old cars. But that was standard. No one had any contrast. You know, power steering, air conditioning was a luxury. But today, power steering is no longer a luxury. It's standard. In fact, when I bought one of the first cars I bought, my first car that I bought was a 1991 Ford Laser, and that did not have power steering. But it was fun to drive. It was a manual and it was blue. I fell in love with the car. But the point I'm making is, now if a car came without power steering, you wouldn't even think of buying it. It's so standard, you wouldn't even think, a car manufacturer wouldn't even think to manufacture a car without power steering or ABS brakes or air conditioning. So how does this relate to you, my esteemed and wholesome young Muslim brother? Well, this is how it relates to you. We live in a very different age now, and there are a lot more demands being placed upon you to qualify you for marriage. And I know that you're frustrated when you see men or boys, or men who you judge to be intellectually and morally inferior to you, snapping up really good girls. You're left on the sideline wondering what went wrong, man. And you come up with all of these exotic theories in your mind and mental twists and turns, and you end up sabotaging yourself. Well, here's what's going on. What is now standard, what is now required of a man as a standard feature, not optional, is the ability to create attraction and chemistry, even with the most wholesome Muslim girl that you meet at the Islamic Center, and she's a pretty little thing, and she's wearing her hijab. She also lives in an age now where everything is, you could look at it as downgraded, but look at it as upgrade. You have to level up. And that doesn't mean that you have to become a bad guy or macho or arrogant or use un-Islamic methods. But you do have to level up and understand a little bit about female psychology, female attraction, developing your own charisma, your own swagger, your own style when it comes to clothing, cologne. It's not enough just to be a good guy. I know that you're a good guy. And maybe even the girl knows you're a good guy. But she also has a biological nature that says, I need to feel something, man. I need to feel a spark. I need to feel charisma. I need to feel humor. If you're this good guy that's just so straitjacketed, can't relax, can't laugh, which is not the prophetic way, sallallahu alaihi wa alihi. We're not saying for you to become some person that's all about seduction and picking up and debauchery. No, but you have to take personal accountability. If you are now in a position where you say, well, it's not working for me and I'm resentful, because other guys are getting married and they are my intellectual and moral inferior. Well, maybe what they have is the ability to create a connection, the ability to be playful, the ability to be humorous. And your biggest issue might be that you're not open to learn. You're too rigid, you're too in your head, and you're too infatuated with whatever theory you've come up with, which is keeping you stuck. Now, I'm not going to address the sisters because I don't know about the level of emotional maturity of our community for me to make a video addressing the sisters. I need, or I would call upon other mature women to make a similar video for the sisters where they're getting stuck. The ones that are also languishing and coming up with all sorts of nonsense theories that there's no good guys out there. There's plenty of good guys. But this is for the brothers out there who are suffering in silence. I'm on your side. I want to help you. And at the risk of me being portrayed in some negative light or people talking, I couldn't care less. I honestly couldn't care less. I care about the opinion of my Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of my Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi, and of his Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam. The opinions of people who want to start talking, I don't care, neither should you. Right? I'm going out on a limb here for you because you're suffering. And you don't need to be suffering. Level up. Level up. Reach out for help. Get out of your rigid mindset. There's no reason why you can't turn your situation around in a matter of months with the right mindset and paradigm shift. We need to get out of the stinking thinking, fellas, and you need to start winning. Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers. This message really is from the heart. I'm speaking off the cuff, it's unscripted. And inshallah, it reaches those brothers who it needs to reach. بإذن الله تعالى. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.